Welcome to our channel, USA Coin Spot. In this video I am going to tell you about the Washington Quarter Dollar, United States of America, which are very valuable and rare. If you have them, you can take advantage of them. Top 1. Have you ever stumbled across a 2009 Washington Quarter and thought, just another coin? Well, what if I told you that one of those simple quarters, yes, one from the year 2009, could secretly be worth a small fortune? I mean real money. We're not talking about $20 or even a couple hundred, we're talking thousands of dollars, up to $39,000. And here's the kicker, it's hiding in plain sight in a coin that was actually part of a proof set. Now, let's dive into something most people overlook. The 2009 Washington Quarter isn't just one coin. That year, the United States Mint did something special. They released 5 unique quarter designs as part of the District of Columbia and U.S. Territories Quarters program. These include quarters honoring the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the Northern Mariana Islands. These quarters were beautiful, yes, but what makes them truly valuable today isn't just the design, it's where they came from. You see, the coins we're talking about didn't come from your standard pocket change or bankroll. No. The most valuable 2009 quarters came straight from proof sets, special collector's editions minted with extra care, using polished dies and high-quality blanks. The finish is mirror-like, the details are razor-sharp, and the rarity? Well, that's what sends coin collectors into a frenzy. Now here's the twist, not every 2009 proof set quarter is worth big money. What turns these coins into hidden treasures is when they feature errors or are in extremely high grades. We're talking about coins that have been certified by third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC, those that receive a near-perfect grade like PR70 Deep Cameo. When one of these rare-proof 2009 Washington quarters hits the market in perfect condition, collectors go wild. Imagine this, you're sorting through an old box of coins, maybe something you inherited, maybe something you've had stashed away for years. You pull out a 2009 quarter from a proof set. It's shiny, clean, maybe even looks brand new. You decide to get it graded, and boom, it comes back as a PR70 DCM. Now that coin could fetch thousands of dollars, sometimes as much as $2,700, or even $39,000. Yes, you heard that right. From $2,700 to $39,000. Just for one single quarter. Not a dollar, not a rare gold piece, but a quarter from 2009. One that might just be hiding in someone's forgotten coin set. That's why collectors all across the United States are scrambling to take a second look at their old proof sets. So what should you look for? Focus on the strike. The deep cameo contrast. The lack of blemishes. And if you think your coin looks flawless, don't wait, get it graded. Because that perfect coin? That might be your ticket to thousands of dollars. And just a reminder, this isn't just collector fantasy. These sales are real. These coins are being bought, sold, and fought over by top collectors. When a gem surfaces in a pristine state, especially with no marks and full strike brilliance, auction houses take notice. And so does the price. Don't make the mistake of thinking these 2009 quarters are common. The proof set versions, especially those with top grade certifications, are anything but. And if you've got one tucked away in a drawer somewhere, you could be sitting on a small gold mine without even knowing it. So check those old sets, take a closer look at your coins, and who knows? Maybe you're holding a Washington quarter that's not just 25 cents. But worth as much as $2,700, or even up to $39,000. Now that's what I call real change. Top 2. What if I told you that inside a forgotten proof set, sitting quietly in a drawer, on a shelf, or in a box in your attic, there's a coin that could change your life? A coin that looks just like any other quarter, but is worth far, far more. This isn't some fantasy or coin collector myth. It's real. And today, we're talking about one of the most shocking and valuable hidden treasures in American coinage, the 1989 Washington Quarter Dollar, * from the U.S. Mint proof set *, that has stunned collectors and dealers alike with its incredible worth. Now, before you go rushing to your change jar or coin albums, hold on. This isn't your average 1989 quarter that passed through thousands of hands at the gas station or got lost in couch cushions. No. We're talking about a highly special version, a coin minted not for circulation, but for collectors. A proof coin. A coin made with such precision, such beauty, and such rarity that it doesn't just shine, it glows. The 1989 Washington quarter from the proof set was struck at the San Francisco Mint, where coins were crafted with the highest quality. These quarters weren't meant to jingle in pockets. They were carefully struck using specially polished dies and hand-selected blanks to create a flawless, mirror-like surface. And on these coins, George Washington's profile doesn't just appear, it pops. The frosted design floats above the mirror background, giving it that breathtaking deep cameo contrast that serious collectors absolutely go wild for. But here's where things get really interesting. Not every proof quarter is worth a fortune. So what makes some of these 1989 proof quarters worth thousands while others are only worth a few dollars? Well, the value of a 1989 proof quarter depends on two critical factors: condition and rarity. Coins that are still sealed in their original government packaging, untouched, with pristine surfaces and no scratches, are already more desirable. But then come the true gems, the ultra-rare coins that receive the highest grades from professional grading services. We're talking about quarters graded PR70 Deep Cameo. That's the highest grade possible for a proof coin, meaning it's literally perfect under magnification. No flaws. No marks. Just perfection. Collectors chase these coins like treasure hunters chasing gold. Why? Because they are extremely rare. Out of thousands of coins, only a handful might earn a PR70 grade. And when one does, it becomes a lightning rod at auctions, sparking bidding wars that send the final price into the stratosphere. And if that wasn't enough, some of these proof quarters have another layer of value: minting anomalies. These are rare errors like double dies or die polishing variations, mistakes that occurred during minting, but made the coin even more unique. Combine a mint error with a perfect grade, and you've just discovered a unicorn in the world of numismatics. So now you're probably thinking, what kind of money are we actually talking about? Well, here it is. These seemingly small, innocent coins, these 1989 proof quarters, have shocked collectors and dealers by selling for as much as $2,700. And for the rarest, most pristine specimens, the ones graded a perfect PR70 Deep Cameo with exceptional eye appeal, these coins have been known to reach unbelievable prices of $72,000. Let that sink in. A 25-cent coin. $72,000. Imagine discovering one of those coins in your proof set. Imagine realizing that what you thought was just an old keepsake could actually buy you a car, or pay off your debts, or even send your kid to college. That's the incredible power of coin collecting, and why thousands of Americans are digging through their collections right now to find one of these rare proof quarters. So here's what you should do next: check your proof sets. Especially the ones from 1989. Look for the Washington quarter with that flawless mirror background and sharp frosted design. Examine it closely. If it looks perfect, no scratches, no marks, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Because if you've got the right one, you're holding something far more valuable than pocket change. You're holding a piece of American history that could be worth a small fortune. And if you've ever doubted the value of old coins, let this be your wake-up call. Not all treasure is buried. Sometimes, it's hidden in plain sight. Top 3. Have you ever held onto an old proof set, maybe one you inherited from a parent or grandparent, or picked up at a garage sale for just a few bucks? If so, you might be sitting on a hidden gold mine without even knowing it. That's right. Because inside one of those unassuming little cases could be a coin that collectors all over America are scrambling to find: the 1984 Washington quarter from a U.S. mint proof set. And believe me, this coin is making serious waves in the collecting world, with some examples selling for as much as $76,000. Yes, you heard that right. Not $76. $76,000. Now, Let's talk about why this specific quarter is causing such a frenzy. First of all, it's not the type of coin you'd find jingling around in your change. The 1984 Washington quarter from a proof set wasn't made for everyday spending. It was minted exclusively for collectors, carefully struck at the San Francisco Mint using specially polished dies and mirror-like planchets. These proof coins are like the VIPs of U.S. currency. They're beautiful, detailed, and often overlooked by people who don't know just how valuable they can become over time. But here's where things get really interesting. Not every 1984 proof quarter is worth a fortune. In fact, the real money is in the coins that are in perfect condition. We're talking about coins graded PR70 Deep Cameo by the big-name grading companies like PCGS or NGC. That PR70 grade means flawless. No blemishes, no scratches, no cloudiness. A perfect mirror finish with razor-sharp details on George Washington's face, hair, and the eagle on the reverse. Coins like that are extremely rare because even the tiniest imperfection can drop the grade and the value. But when one of these pristine examples does hit the market, it's like lightning in a bottle, and the prices are absolutely wild. Imagine this: someone cracks open a proof set they bought for under $10 decades ago, sends that quarter in for grading, and it comes back as PR70 Deep Cameo. Suddenly, they're holding a coin that's worth more than a brand new car, or even more than some people's yearly salary. One of these quarters recently sold at auction for a mind-blowing $76,000. That's not a typo. $76,000 for one single quarter. A coin that was originally just part of a collector's proof set, tucked away in a case, never spent, never touched. That's the kind of story that gets collectors everywhere checking their collections again and again, just in case they've missed something. And it doesn't stop there. Even if your 1984 proof quarter isn't absolutely perfect, it could still bring in some serious cash. Coins graded PR69 Deep Cameo, still incredibly high quality, have sold for thousands. $2,700, $5,000, even $10,000 or more, depending on the condition, the market, and who's bidding at auction. The value is all about condition, rarity, and demand. And right now, demand is sky high. The best part? Most people have no idea. That's what makes this so exciting. Proof sets are often passed down through families, tossed into boxes, or sold for pocket change at flea markets and estate sales. And because the 1984 set doesn't scream rare at first glance, many collectors overlook it. But you're smarter than that. You're watching this video because you're curious. You want to know what to look for. You're ready to discover the hidden treasures in your own collection. And that's what makes this hobby so incredible. So here's what you need to do. If you have a 1984 US Mint proof set, especially one that's been kept in great condition, take a close look at that Washington quarter. Use a magnifier. Look at the surfaces. Is it flawless? Is the contrast deep and reflective, with a strong, frosty design that pops against a mirrored background? If so, you might just have something truly valuable on your hands. And if it looks promising, send it to a reputable grading service. That small investment could lead to a life-changing payday. Let's recap, because this is too important to miss. The 1984 Washington quarter from a proof set, minted in San Francisco, never released into circulation, specially struck for collectors, can be worth serious money today. And if your coin grades out as a PR70 Deep Cameo, you could be holding on to something that's worth $76,000. Even lower high-end grades are fetching $2,700 or more. That's real money, money people are actually receiving for coins they've had sitting around for decades. So what are you waiting for? Go dig out those old proof sets. Ask your relatives if they've got any coin collections hiding in drawers or closets. Head to flea markets, estate sales, antique shops, anywhere you might stumble upon forgotten treasure. Because right now, the 1984 Washington quarter is one of the most searched, most talked about, and most valuable proof coins in the US market. And remember, in the world of coin collecting, knowledge is profit. The more you know, the more you can uncover. Keep learning, keep searching, and who knows? That little silver-colored coin from 1984 might just be your ticket to thousands, or even $76,000. Don't miss your chance. Start your hunt today. Top 4. Have you ever held a simple coin in your hand and wondered, what if this tiny piece of metal is worth more than I ever imagined? What if right now, lying somewhere in your drawer, your basement, or inside an old proof set, there's a small treasure waiting to be discovered? One that could turn your ordinary day into an unforgettable moment? Well, today we're diving into one of the most overlooked yet shockingly valuable coins in American coin history, the 1986 Washington quarter dollar from the U.S. Mint. Proof set.it looks like any other quarter to most people. George Washington's iconic profile on the front, the majestic eagle on the reverse. It feels ordinary. It's just 25 cents, right? But wait, this isn't the one you'd get in change at a gas station or drop into a vending machine. No, this is something very different. This is the proof coin. Struck not once, but twice, sometimes more, using polished dies and specially prepared planchets to create a mirror-like background with frosted details that almost jump out at you. It was made to be beautiful. It was made to be perfect. And if yours is truly perfect, the value could blow your mind. Let me tell you why collectors are chasing this coin across the country. The 1986 Washington quarter-proof coin, especially the one struck at the San Francisco Mint, carries with it a story of rarity, perfection, and demand. It was only ever released as part of a proof set, those elegant plastic cases filled with pristine coins straight from the U.S. Mint. They weren't meant to be spent. They weren't meant to jingle in your pocket. They were made for collectors. And because of that, most of them are in decent shape, but only a few survived in flawless, museum-quality condition. And that's where the magic happens. Imagine you stumble across a proof set in an old box. Maybe it belonged to your grandfather. Maybe you bought it at a yard sale for $5 without knowing what was inside. You crack it open, and there it is, gleaming, untouched, the 1986 Washington quarter. At first glance, it just looks like a regular proof coin. But then you take a closer look. The surfaces are flawless. The frost on Washington's portrait is crisp and thick. The field is like a black mirror. No scratches, no nicks, no hazing. And suddenly your heart skips a beat. Could this be it? What collectors and investors want is that perfect coin, graded PR70 deep cameo by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC. That grade tells the world this coin is the best of the best. It tells buyers, this coin is flawless. And when that happens, the value skyrockets. It's not about rarity in numbers. The U.S. Mint produced plenty of these proof sets. But perfection? Perfection is rare. And perfection is expensive. You wouldn't believe how much people have paid for these coins at auction. That little quarter you thought was worth 25 cents, just one of millions, can end up being the golden goose hiding in your coin collection. Some lucky collectors have discovered that a single perfect 1986 proof quarter can be worth not just hundreds, not just thousands, but life-changing money. So what should you be looking for? Start by checking for the S Mint mark. That means it was made in San Francisco as part of a proof set. Then look at the coin under good lighting. Look for that sharp contrast between the mirrored background and frosted design. No smudges, no toning, no marks. If it looks pristine, it might be worth having it professionally graded. And if it comes back as a PR70 deep cameo, then congratulations. You may have hit the jackpot. This isn't just a collector's item. It's a sleeper coin that could bring massive returns. A forgotten gem that's quietly increasing in value while the world goes unaware. And here's the moment you've been waiting for. The price. A flawless, top-grade 1986 Washington quarter from a U.S. Mint proof set, professionally graded at the highest level, has sold for as much as $2,700. But that's just the beginning. In rare cases, depending on auction demand, provenance, and collector frenzy, that price can shoot up to an unbelievable $78,000. Yes, you heard that right. From a simple 25-cent piece to as much as $78,000. So don't wait. Go check those coin collections. Search those dusty boxes. Open up those forgotten proof sets. Because that one perfect quarter, the 1986 S proof, could be the tiny coin that makes a huge impact in your life. And remember, in the world of coin collecting, it's not always about what you see at first glance. Sometimes it's about what others miss. So stay curious, stay searching, and you might just be the next lucky collector to strike it rich. Top 5. Have you ever looked at a quarter and thought, could this tiny coin change my life? What if I told you there's a very specific Washington quarter, made in 1972, that has been shocking collectors and coin hunters all over the country, not because it's rare in general, but because certain versions of it from proof sets have sold for tens of thousands of dollars? That's right. You could be holding a coin that looks just like any other quarter, but it could actually be worth more than your car, more than your mortgage payment, and maybe even more than your yearly salary. All from a single 25-cent piece. Let's dive into the secret behind this unbelievable coin. We're talking about the 1972 Washington quarter dollar, but not just any 1972 quarter. This isn't the one you might find with scratches and dirt from circulation. This is the version that came from the United States Mint proof set. Now, if you're not familiar with what a proof coin is, let me explain why these coins are so special. Proof coins aren't meant to be spent. They're specially made with extra care, struck multiple times using polished dies on specially prepared planchets, which gives them a deep mirror-like background and frosty raised designs. These coins are created for collectors, and they're usually sealed in cases as part of official mint sets. The 1972 proof Washington quarter is a perfect example of this special treatment. When fresh, its details are so sharp and brilliant, it almost looks like a piece of jewelry. But here's the kicker. While thousands of these proof sets were made, only a very small number of these quarters survive today in perfect condition. And when one of these flawless coins goes up for auction, let's just say collectors go wild. But how much could one actually be worth? Let me give you the real numbers that have turned heads in the coin collecting world. Some examples of the 1972 S Washington quarter from the proof set, especially those graded as PR70 Deep Cameo by major grading services like PCGS or NGC, have fetched prices so high, they seem almost unreal. And you might be wondering, how much money are we talking about? Well, this is where things get really exciting. Because collectors have paid anywhere from $2,700 all the way up to a staggering $84,000 for one of these coins. Yes. From just 25 cents to $84,000. Now let that sink in. Think about the possibilities. One little coin, sitting quietly in a box in someone's attic, tucked away in an old proof set from the 70s, forgotten in a drawer, or maybe even mistaken for an ordinary quarter, could be worth enough to pay for a car, a vacation, or even change your financial future. The value depends heavily on the condition. Only coins that are absolutely flawless, meaning not a single scratch, haze, or imperfection, stand a chance of reaching those top dollar prices. Coins with the highest grade, PR70 Deep Cameo, are the ones that cause bidding wars at auctions. These are coins with perfect contrast between the frosted design and the mirrored field, with no blemishes visible under magnification. But even if your coin isn't perfect, don't lose hope. A lower grade proof quarter can still bring in hundreds or thousands of dollars if the quality is solid enough. The real treasure here is knowing what to look for and understanding the difference between a regular proof and a premium Deep Cameo. And here's a little secret most people don't know: some of these proof coins have even ended up in circulation by accident. Whether through broken proof sets, estate sales, or careless handling, a few of these coins made their way into the wild. That means it's technically possible to find one in a jar of spare change, or in a box of coins handed down from a relative. So don't ignore those older quarters, especially ones that seem unusually shiny or detailed. Check for the S Mint mark beneath Washington's neck. That tells you the coin came from the San Francisco Mint, which is where the proof sets were made. If it has that strong contrast between the shiny mirror background and the frosty raised image, and it looks nearly perfect, well, you might be holding something very, very special. There are collectors out there right now, searching auctions, going through coin dealers, even scouring online marketplaces, hoping to get their hands on a 1972 S-proof quarter in top grade. And if you happen to find one, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding a hidden fortune. So the next time you open an old proof set, or someone hands you a box of coins, or you're browsing through coins at a garage sale, take a minute. Look closely. Because the 1972 Washington quarter from a proof set could be worth anywhere from $2,700 to $84,000. Now ask yourself, how many quarters have passed through your hands without you even noticing? One of them could have been the coin of a lifetime.